get the kids back to school, Donald Trump says Barron, 14, had COVID-19 for like 2 seconds before testing negative, and says it is no excuse for schools to close. Donald Trump on Wednesday night told a rally about Barron's health. Melania Trump earlier on Wednesday said their son also contracted the virus. Barron, 14, tested positive in a second round of testing and recovered. Luckily, he is a strong teenager and exhibited no symptoms, she noted on Wednesday night. Trump said his son had the virus for like 2 seconds. He stressed that it was essential to get children back to schools. By Harriet Alexander and Emily Goodin, Senior U.S. Political Reporter, published 2:21 BST, the 15th of October 2020, updated 6:28 BST, the 15th of October 2020. Donald Trump on Wednesday night said that his 14-year-old son Barron was recovering well from coronavirus, adding that he didn't expect him to bounce back so quickly, and insisting that children should be back in school. Addressing a rally in Des Moines, Iowa, the president said the teenager had impressed him with his recovery. Barron Trump, you know he had the Corona-19, the China virus. It's got 20 different names, but to me Corona means Italy, he said. China is China, and it came from China, so he had the China virus, right? And he had it for such a short period of time. I don't even think he knew he had it. Because they're young and their immune systems are strong and they fight it off. He said Barron had the virus for like 2 seconds before testing negative. Because people have it and it goes, he said. Get the kids back to school, you've got to get the kids back to school. Get him back. Donald Trump said on Wednesday night that his 14-year-old son Barron is just fine. The president was in Des Moines, Iowa, for a campaign rally at an airport hangar. The president said Barron's coronavirus infection was asymptomatic. Get the kids back to school. We've got to get the kids back to school, said Trump Wednesday. Trump, diagnosed on October 1st, spent 3 nights being treated at the Walter Reed Hospital. He claimed on Wednesday he could have recovered from the disease without treatment. Maybe I would have been perfect anyway, he said. I like to say I didn't need it, I would have been perfect anyway because I'm so strong. He also gave more detail of his own experience fighting the virus. It's a little tough, you know. I had the temperature and you don't feel good, he said. But the scariest part is, where is it going? You know you've got a 101 or 102 and then you say, I don't love this apostrophe. You haven't had a temperature in years and then all of a sudden you have it. But you see what happens to people. Later in his speech, he welcomed Iowa wrestling legend Dan Gable onto the stage, greeting him with an elbow bump before saying, Hey Dan, I'm immune and I can't give it to you, so that's good. Medical experts have said that Trump has no scientific basis to declare himself immune, as reinfections have happened. Donald Trump is pictured arriving back to the White House on Wednesday night after the rally. The 77-year-old returning home after dancing and ad-libbing a lengthy speech in Des Moines. The president gave Dan Gable an elbow bump, then declared he was immune. Trump's rally had been expected to draw a crowd of up to 10,000. Barron's diagnosis was revealed by his mother, Melania Trump, on Wednesday afternoon. She said that after she and her husband first received their positive results, naturally, my mind went immediately to our son. She said she was relieved when he tested negative at first, but kept thinking about what would happen in the days to come. My fear came true when he was tested again and it came up positive, the First Lady wrote in a statement released to social media. The First Lady said she was glad the 3 of us went through this at the same time so we could take care of one another and spend time together. Luckily, he is a strong teenager and exhibited no symptoms. He is now negative for COVID. Barron Trump was last seen in public at the White House on August 27, when his father accepted the Republican Party's nomination for a second term. It's not unusual to go months without seeing the president's youngest child, as Melania Trump keeps him out of public view as much as she can. Barron Trump was last seen in public at the White House on August 27. Melania Trump issued a major update on her health Wednesday, noting she has recovered and tested negative for COVID. But Melania Trump revealed Barron Trump, 14, tested positive in a second round of testing. President Trump, upon leaving the White House on Wednesday for a campaign rally in Des Moines, said Barron is doing fine. While the president has returned to work and a heavy campaign schedule, the notoriously private First Lady gave no indication of when she will resume her public life in the update she released Wednesday. She did address the negative energy in the country with less than 3 weeks to go until Election Day, thanked the country for their prayers and said the First Family was offering prayers to all in return. Barron Trump was last seen in public at the White House on August 27, when his father accepted the Republican Party's nomination for a second term. President Trump said on Wednesday that Barron is doing fine. Unlike the president, Melania Trump didn't check into the hospital after her diagnosis with COVID. She said she had minimal symptoms but admitted it hit her like a roller coaster. She also said she treated herself with a natural route, opting for vitamins and healthy food, indicating she did not take a heavy course of medication as the president did for his illness. I was very fortunate as my diagnosis came with minimal symptoms, though they hit me all at once and it seemed to be a roller coaster of symptoms in the days after. I experienced body aches, a cough and headaches, and felt extremely tired most of the time, she wrote. I chose to go a more natural route in terms of medicine, opting more for vitamins and healthy food. President Trump was on dexamethasone, a powerful steroid which can cause insomnia, mania, mood swings, and rage. It has shown promise for treating patients with a severe case of COVID-19 who are getting supplemental oxygen. His treatment regime also included an experimental antiviral drug that Regeneron Pharmaceuticals is testing to supply antibodies that help a patient fight the disease, and the antiviral drug remdesivir. The First Lady did not mention wearing a face mask and social distancing, which doctors recommend to help fight the spread of COVID. She has touted the benefits of wearing a mask more than her husband has. She has worn face coverings in public, although notably not as much when she is with the president, who is not a fan of wearing them. Melania Trump went on to decry the negative energy in the country surrounding the election, much of it there as a result of her husband's combative tone as he runs for a second term. We are in unprecedented times, and with the election fast approaching, it has been easy to get caught up in so much negative energy, she said. She said she will resume her duties soon but gave no indication when the public may see her again, either in her role as First Lady or on the campaign trail. I am happy to report that I have tested negative and hope to resume my duties as soon as I can, Melania wrote. She concluded that she is praying for the country. I want people to know that I understand just how fortunate my family is to have received the kind of care that we did. If you are sick, or if you have a loved one who is sick, I am thinking of you and will be thinking of you every day. I pray for our country and I pray for everyone who is grappling with COVID-19 and any other illnesses or challenges. Melania Trump sat in the front row at the announcement of Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. At least 12 people at that event later tested positive for COVID. Melania Trump was also with President Donald Trump at the first presidential debate in Cleveland on September 29. It's unclear how the First Lady contracted the disease. She was at the Saturday, September 26, Rose Garden announcement where President Trump formally nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. At least 12 people at that event later tested positive for COVID. The First Lady was also at the first presidential debate in Cleveland, Ohio, on September 29, where she took her mask off after sitting in the audience, despite a request from the Cleveland Clinic for those in the audience to wear them. The White House announced in the early hours of Friday, October 2nd, that the first couple was positive for COVID. Melania, 50, was described as having a mild case. President Trump, 74, checked into Walter Reed Medical Center for 4 days on that Friday night. Melania Trump health update. First Lady Melania Trump wrote an essay about her health, entitled My Personal Experience with COVID-19: It was 2 weeks ago when I received the diagnosis that so many Americans across our country and the world had already received. I tested positive for COVID-19. To make matters worse, my husband, and our nation's commander-in-chief, received the same news. Naturally, my mind went immediately to our son. To our great relief, he tested negative, but again, as so many parents have thought over the past several months, I couldn't help but think, what about tomorrow or the next day? My fear came true when he was tested again and it came up positive. Luckily, he is a strong teenager and exhibited no symptoms. In one way, I was glad the three of us went through this at the same time so we could take care of one another and spend time together. He has since tested negative. I was very fortunate as my diagnosis came with minimal symptoms, though they hit me all at once, and it seemed to be a roller coaster of symptoms. In the days after, I experienced body aches, a cough and headaches, and felt extremely tired most of the time. I chose to go a more natural route in terms of medicine, opting more for vitamins and healthy food. We had wonderful caretakers around us, and we will be forever grateful for the medical care and professional discretion we received from Dr. Conley and his team. It was an unfamiliar feeling for me to be the patient instead of a person trying to encourage our nation to stay healthy and safe. It was me being taken care of now, and getting first-hand experience with all that COVID-19 can do. As the patient, and the person benefiting from so much medical support, I found myself even more grateful and in awe of caretakers and first responders everywhere. To the medical staff and the residence staff who have been taking care of our family, thank you doesn't say enough. Recovering from an illness gives you a lot of time to reflect. When my husband was taken to Walter Reed as a precaution, I spent much of my time reflecting on my family. I also thought about the hundreds of thousands of people across our country who have been impacted by this illness that infects people with no discrimination. We are in unprecedented times, and with the election fast approaching, it has been easy to get caught up in so much negative energy. It also cheered me to think of all the people I have met across our country and the world, and the goodness and compassion that exists if you seek it out. Our country has overcome many hardships and much adversity, and it is my hope COVID-19 will be another obstacle we will be able to tell future generations we overcame, and learn from in the process. I encourage everyone to continue to live the healthiest life they can. A balanced diet, fresh air, and vitamins really are vital to keep our bodies healthy. For your complete well-being, compassion and humility are just as important in keeping our minds strong. For me personally, the most impactful part of my recovery was the opportunity to reflect on many things: family, friendships, my work, and staying true to who you are. I am happy to report that I have tested negative and hope to resume my duties as soon as I can. Along with this good news, I want people to know that I understand just how fortunate my family is to have received the kind of care that we did. If you are sick, or if you have a loved one who is sick, I am thinking of you and will be thinking of you every day. I pray for our country and I pray for everyone who is grappling with COVID-19 and any other illnesses or challenges. Thank you to everyone who reached out, and offered well wishes and prayers for our family. You remain in ours as well. Advertisement. Let's block ads. Why?
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.